welcome to the 140th ever episode of the DX Podcast. I'm Alex.
I'm Jimmy.
And I'm Kellz.
What the heck is going on, homies?
Oh, guess what I'm excited about?
What?
Last week, none of us knew any of this.
Yeah.
And this week, we all know a lot of stuff.
Wait, before we get into that, real quick, this is a Pokemon podcast.
Right.
Thank you. Hello, welcome.
Hi.
We're
We're
good.
the DX on YouTube. Trivia and Strategy is our game.
We're really good.
We're
The
really
DX
good is
is
our
our
name.
We're so good.
Check us out. Thank you for joining us here on this weekly podcast where we do Pokemon news, Pokemon everything. We're here. We're ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But first,
Hey, how was your Pokemon week?
how was it? How was your Pokemon week?
Exciting.
I mean,
guess,
yeah, for the
you know?
news, exciting.
Okay, so we're going to get into the one big thing that happened, but did you guys do anything in your personal lives that had to do with Pokemon?
Well, I'm really, really excited because last week I built 3 bookshelves for our office, and I've been putting up my Pokemon collection. And today I made some huge headway on it. I only have 1 shelf left to go before it's all arranged like I want it to be. It looks really cool. I'm really happy about it, and it's inching me ever closer to being able to like talk about that maybe on camera in show form.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I'm excited about that. That was my Poke Week. Everything else is like whatevs. I've been playing a lot of Magikarp Jump still. I'm almost done with the Luxury League.
What is that?
And it's like it's
just a
the
rank?
6th league.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, it's just for other people who know where it's at. That's where I am. I wonder
right.
where you are.
I wonder how that is in relation to most people.
I've been
playing the
tweeting
game.
about it a lot because you get achievements for sharing it on social media. And that's, well, number 1, I am charmed by the game. And number 2, that's why I'm doing that. So if you see that, just know that it's because I want the bonus and I don't care about spamming your feeds.
They got you. They got you. That's how they get you. I made a team. I finally decided, like, I'm going to have my team that I like, that I use for fun for VGC, but I'm also going to, like, try and just, like, regularly use and maintain a team going forward with my battling that's, like, at the top of the meta, something that I can, like, win a game with pretty
Nice.
much all the time if I'm good enough.
Nice.
So that's what I've been working on this week. I haven't really like settled on anything, but I've just been like, every time I have some free time, just going into Showdown and just being like, what's this? Yeah, what's this? What's this about? I haven't even really done that many battles. I've just been like reading people's strats and watching VODs of tournaments and stuff. But man, it's been fun.
That's tight.
There's been some good A-word battles in some of these recent regionals that have been happening. I really encourage people to go back and watch some of those. Oh man, just the scene is so hype right now, and it's just so sad that there's like not that many people watching it comparatively.
Comparatively.
About you, Jimmy?
The huge. Nothing.
The huge, nothing to
huge.
do.
Yeah, no, not really anything on my part aside from news stuff, which of course I
Hopefully,
kept
yeah.
up with.
Hopefully, some of the stuff we're about to jump into has reawakened your passion,
Right.
your day-to-day passion for the Pokemon.
On an unrelated note, sometime last week, I stayed up till 5 a.m. because I opened Twitch at like 1 a.m. and I was having a nice cozy drink, and there was a CSGO restream of championships from last year, and I had never watched CSGO before, and I watched the whole grand finals,
Wow.
which was 3 best of 30 matches.
Was
Best
it
of
intense?
30?
Yeah, because the matches go by in like a minute.
You're right. They're fast.
But yeah, I just got sucked in, and I've never watched CSGO before, and I just like glued to my seat.
It's the skill that they play is just like insane.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's nuts.
Like the shots that they make like regularly, I'm just like get out of here.
There was 2 instances, and one for each team, where a last man standing who only had a pistol versus the entire enemy team of 5
And he won?
managed to clutch it out. And
Oh
it
my
was,
God.
Yeah. So no Pokemon news, but I just want to let everybody know that I watched that. So
Hell yeah.
yeah,
Hell yeah.
heck yes.
You did it.
But the big thing this week, of course, is that on Monday it was announced there was a surprise 8-minute Pokemon Direct that was going to be streamed. And yesterday we got some huge news, Bruce.
Welcome to the news, darlings.
Well,
Oh yes, I liked that one
That was
very
a good
much.
one, yeah.
I was actually surprised, delighted, and
I watched.
It was pleasant.
I watched the
My eyes
amazing.
lit up.
I watched. Yeah, I watched it spread across your face.
It was.
You were just like, oh,
yes, very into that one.
It was
Well done.
a roller coaster. Yeah.
great. I'm
It takes
glad
the pressure off of you thinking about saying the news because
true.
you mixed it up, and it was huge news, Bruce.
it is.
Right.
That direct was crazy. We woke up at like
Yeah.
6 a.m. to get ready and stream it. It was really a
It
fun
was cool.
time.
If you went there and watched it with us, thanks for coming to that.
Yeah, I got like 3 times my normal numbers. It was crazy.
I
Pokemon
woke
time.
up at 1 o'clock and read all the news on Twitter.
I texted Jimmy like
Yeah.
right after the press conference, just the dream.
That's right. I remember I didn't wake up at 1 o'clock. I woke up at like 9 o'clock because my phone buzzed, and I like blearily looked at my phone to see the dream from Alex, and I was like, I
Two words.
just texted back and I was like, what? And then you were like, Pokken, and I was like, nice, and I went back to bed.
Yeah. So Tsunekazu Ishihara came out, and he's gonna. I guess he's like the host of the Pokemon Directs because I think he did that one time before. Him and Masuda-san. And he presented Pokemon Tournament DX, the deluxe version of Pokken Tournament.
So what are we gonna call it? We're gonna call it Pokken DX, Pokken Deluxe.
I'm just gonna call it Pokken.
I've been calling it Pokken Deluxe.
I'm gonna
Pokken.
call it.
I think that it's important to call it Deluxe.
Pokken Switch.
I'm gonna call it
Switch
Pokken Ducks.
Pokken Ducks.
Pucks.
Pokken Ducks.
Because we already lost the tournament long ago. Nobody
Yeah.
calls it that, right?
Yeah, Pokken.
Nobody's like, I like to play Pokken Tournament.
Maybe just Pokken DX, but is that too much like Pokemon XD?
No,
No,
it's not.
it's not.
Because
You're right.
one of
It's
those
not.
is a good game. Hey,
Damn.
Sorry if you like that game.
Pokken Tournament DX is coming out on Nintendo Switch September 22nd, which is not that long
It's
from
after,
now.
and that's after Pokemon World Championships.
Yeah,
Interesting.
which
Well,
That's okay.
It's already so close to Pokemon Worlds that
yeah, it's like a nice clean season break.
yeah,
Yeah.
it would be a little silly in my opinion to release the game this close. Like
It'd be rude.
it's not Street Fighter, right?
It'd
It
be
can't
rude.
really get away with that. And
But,
even Street
oh
Fighter
my
released
God,
it.
you
I
better
mean, like,
believe.
sometimes say what you will about people being like, I can't believe they released this on the new system. Now I have to buy the system. It would be pretty bad if Pokemon did that for the Switch right now with Pokken, and then they were like, and World Championships is going to be on the Switch, so
Right.
you
That
have
would
to go get.
that would be a low
That
blow.
is something worth getting mad over, unlike other things.
Well, I have a lot of questions about Pokken. I don't really know that much about the details. I didn't read any
well,
of the press
guess
releases.
what? I
Yeah.
wrote it all down for you.
Yeah, I know. We're about to get into it. But first, the trailer. Our hero travels across the country to visit his older brother.
Oh,
who's
I love
playing
the trailer.
Pokken.
It was a
It's-
cool trailer.
It's like world culture trailer again.
Yeah.
Love it. Traveling across the country to visit his older brother who's playing Pokken. He's like playing Pokken with people on his way to meet his brother.
Their eyes meet and they're like, battle time.
I love that. It
It's
was
like
so
when
cheesy.
trainers' eyes meet.
It's time to
Yeah.
battle.
He reaches his brother's house. He gives his nephew some presents. He plays Pokken. He gives his nephew some presents, which is like very key to this. He plays Pokken some more with his big bro. They play the trailer, but forget about the trailer because we all know about the trailer. Let's talk about features.
Yes.
Pokken Deluxe on the Switch will be playable in TV mode, which is where you put it on the dock.
right?
Handheld mode, which is where you play it like a portable console where
Yep.
you have the two things snapped on the sides. And tabletop mode with 2 Joy-Cons, which means that you can play it on the go with 2 people using Joy-Cons.
Yes,
Right.
yes. Which is interesting. It brings up the question, like, how does that change how Pokken is going to be displayed? Because in the Wii U version, there was one person looking at the big screen and one person looking at the small handheld screen if you were playing together. So what is it going to look
I
like?
actually
with
saw
2
I
people
actually
on
saw
it?
some gameplay of it.
Okay,
Okay.
tell me about it.
It's 2 separate screens. It's a split screen.
It is split screen.
Split screen on the Switch.
On the tabletop, is it tiny? Is it like too small?
I mean, it's not that small. I mean, it's the way that they do it is like at a different camera angle that's like slightly wider. So you can actually see pretty well. You just have to adjust to being a smaller character. But like on the TV, it looks fine
Oh, I'm sure.
because you can do 2-player on one TV now too.
Okay.
Is it split vertical or sideways?
Vertical.
Good.
Wait, what do you mean?
Is it split screen vertical or is it split screen sideways?
The split goes up and down.
Nice,
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we know if it plays at 60? FPS?
That I don't know.
It's not. Yeah, that's not.
That I don't know. I would
Unfortunately,
assume.
like the
I
technical
would assume
specs
so. I don't know about the
not been
multiplayer.
released.
I don't know about the one TV multiplayer, but
Yeah,
I don't.
that's specifically what I'm talking about. I would be Devastated if it doesn't play at 60 FPS on its own console by itself.
It's definitely powerful enough to do it.
Yeah.
So I think that at this point, then, like, if they don't do it, I would be like, that would
Breath
be a
of the
criticism
Wild,
I would have for sure.
Breath of the Wild was running on that system, but I guess it also ran on the Wii U. So what the heck am I talking about?
Breath of the Wild had severe frame drops on the Wii U in towns.
Oh, did it really?
Oh yeah, but Breath of the Wild Wii U had a lot of frame dropping. And from what I heard, reports from most people said that the best way to play Breath of the Wild was on the undocked Switch mode, like small screen mode.
It looks freaking sick on the small screen.
Side note, last night I was playing Breath of the Wild and I was like walking to a destination and I fell asleep at the controller and I woke up and I was still walking towards the destination and I was just like, oh good, I made some progress. It was it's a really cool game.
Yeah.
So
You
I'm
gotta
having fun with
get
it now.
your own Switch, or this is just gonna happen with every game.
You know, no, I can get my own Switch later, but like I can't get my own Switch now because the save files of Zelda don't transfer, so I have to finish it
I know.
on your Switch.
It was a big
It's
sacrifice
just
that
gonna
I made.
happen.
I'm such a good
You
dude.
told me to play it, and
I'm
you're
a cool
very
guy.
nice.
I'm really cool, and that's
But
like
don't get mad at
the
me
main-
for playing your Switch now because you told me
I'm
to
not
play Breath of
mad.
the Wild.
I'm not mad. I'm just telling you that, like, see, you like the Switch.
Don't be mad because it's my Switch now.
It's not your Switch. Great.
Back
So,
to Pokken.
yeah, that's that. There's a new game mode also in Pokken Deluxe that is a team battle mode that allows you to pick 3 Pokemon like Marvel vs. Capcom and battle till all 3 of one trainer's Pokemon are knocked out. That sounds tight.
That sounds great.
It's basically crew battles.
Yeah,
Like-
it's also like Pokemon, like it's like
yeah, it's very much
it's
more
like
Pokemon.
just like trainer v trainer.
yeah.
Yeah, it's that mode is interesting because at sort of the more grassroots melee tournaments, Smash Brothers Melee, they do crew battles all the time. Like they'll do like NorCal versus SoCal, and you get like each player picks their character and they have X amount of stocks and whatever. And like, you know, if you lose like 2 stocks but you take out the other guy's 4, then you start the next round and you have to self-destruct 2 times so that you get 2
Back to
stocks.
where you were.
And the other person comes in fresh and whatever. And they just like swap out teammates throughout the thing, and the last man standing is the winner. And this is basically a built-in mode of that, which is pretty cool. Because
That's actually tight. Like
That
to
is cool.
imagine, because like this game's gonna be played local a lot.
right. And so we can do like theoretically, it'd be pretty easy to go to a Pokken tournament and just do a crew battle. That's like very easy to set up and really quick.
Oh, and you could have like 6 people and pass the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, it also like limits the amount that you need to of people who need to have Switches, which is like
Right.
the main type thing. They also have daily challenges, which are going to be a thing, which is cool. Battle replay sharing online, group match mode, which is an online function where a pool of players can join a battle room against similarly skilled players. I don't know if the multiplayer stuff for ARMS is under NDA or not. But are the reviews out?
I mean, by the time this podcast comes out, the game comes out tomorrow, right? Friday?
No, it comes out next Friday, I think.
Never mind.
Just don't say it till we don't get CND'd.
Well, I mean, like, it won't be that big of a deal. But the point is, there's some really cool, like, outside of the box multiplayer features for the team battles that are like lobby battles that are going on in ARMS. And if they like transfer some of that to this, that would be really cool. But as far as what they've said for Pokken, it's group match mode where a pool can join a battle room against similarly skilled players, which are all things that should have been in the original Pokken. Let's be real.
And that's a mode. There might be like other types of online multiplayer too.
Yeah.
That's like just a new mode thing,
Yeah.
which is cool.
So this also comes with every character that's ever been announced. You know, even the
Darkrai,
arcade
Krogunk,
ones.
Caesar.
Yeah, all that stuff and all the support characters, everything, even the stuff that was locked in the original game, is all going to be unlocked right when you buy this game. So you don't have to like worry about doing unlocks and all that stuff. Instead, they want you to focus on playing the tournament.
And the character that
and-
you want.
Yeah, well, and also like, you know, doing the daily challenge instead of like grinding out characters every day.
Right, right.
It also has Litten and Poplio, who are new support Pokemon that they've added to the game.
Cool.
And a completely new playable character
Yep.
in Decidueye,
Woo!
who,
Totally unexpected.
of the
Really
three,
exciting. That
of
was
the
very
3
exciting.
Pokemon that are in Gen 7 that are starters, you would assume just because of what he is that Incineroar would be the one to go into Pokemon.
Right.
But
It fits very well.
I'm glad it's Decidueye though. I think that's a really good choice.
I agree. Plus, we also have 2 Max Evo Fire Starters and 1 first stage Fire Starter in the
true.
roster. We already
Lots
have
of fire.
Braixen, Charizard, and Blaziken.
oh yeah,
So rounding it out with the Grass type, especially because they added Empoleon. So now it's Sceptile, Empoleon, Decidueye, and then the previous mentioned.
it's crazy that there's like not that many water type.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, lots of water type are like
There's Suicune
fish.
and who else?
Empoleon now.
Yeah.
Oh baby,
Oh, you're gonna have Empoleon.
I forgot about Empoleon. I've been maining Suicune, but he's gone. He's out to pasture.
But you know what?
Empoleon's in.
You know what?
What?
None of any of what we said just now matters at all because I'm only going to be playing Caesar. So,
Dude, also Darkrai's in the game.
but that would matter if Caesar wasn't.
That's true, you're
in
right.
the game. Right, yeah.
There was one thing that was really cool that I didn't write down in the news for you. But if you bought the Wii U version of the controller for Pokken, you can plug it into the dock on your Switch and it will work, which I think
nice.
is super awesome.
Me said that, me said that, me said that. Also, the Pokken controller and the Wii U and the Switch Pro controller, they feel very similar to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that matters to anyone, but
I always played on gamepad. I really actually liked how the gamepad felt. I
Yeah.
never got myself a Hori pad, but yeah, I guess we'll see when it comes out. Play with it before I commit to buying an external controller.
yeah, I've got one. It's pretty cool. Like in terms of like game feel, it does feel like you're playing with a fighting game specific controller, which I didn't think it would, but it like totally does. But yeah, that's Pokken. Pokken Tournament's going to be playable at E3 next week, so I'm going to go check that out. And there's going to be a live stream invitational event that's going to be held on June 14th from E3. So make sure you watch that. I will be there watching it in real life probably. Maybe you'll see me on camera. Jimmy will maybe be there as well.
I might, yeah.
I will not be there.
Kelly is being smart about what day she takes off so that she can travel around the world. So no judges.
Yeah.
And at the end of the Pokken trailer, a little after the credit scene happened, where the two nephews.
It was an after credit scene.
It was like a Marvel movie at the end where you see Thor's hammer. But it was like, oh yeah, what about those gifts that the nephews got?
Mm-hmm.
And they're playing their 3DSs, and we're like, wait, what are they playing on their 3D? Oh my god! And we found out about Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, which get bopped, stars.
Seriously.
This is coming out November 17th for the 3DS only. We'll get into something in a minute about that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's for later. It's an alternate story taking place in the same world.
Mm-hmm.
Masuda-san said that new Pokemon that didn't appear in Sun and Moon will appear. I imagine that means like Black and White 2, where they just like brought in a bunch of more old Pokemon, and maybe
Like
that
you
means
mean, yeah, like more from different regions.
yeah,
and
maybe
things.
that'll be like they'll add the actual national dex to the game this time. There will also
But
be.
it could be new Pokemon. Who
It's
knows?
true. It's true. I doubt it.
There could
I
be
mean,
more
there's probably
Alola
going to be a
forms.
couple, but I doubt that there's going to be many. There will be additional elements added to help you enjoy your adventure even more. These are definitely versions suited to the title Ultra, vague on purpose, but promising. We'll see what that means. But as far as what we know, some details we noted in the tiny bit we saw were what appears to be a fusion of Solgaleo and Lunala with Necrozma. Two
Sick.
separate Pokemon.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
They're wearing like Necrozma armor.
Very Kyurem Black and Kyurem White.
Yes.
Right. Very, very
And
reminiscent of that.
they're in their radiant forms in these things, or at least the colors of their radiant forms, with like Necrozma body armor on, which is
Yeah.
really cool. There's also a clip of a trainer activating a weird like black and white Z-ring.
Yeah, they like flip a switch on the front of it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have like
Yeah, so we'll see exactly what that means.
Ultra Z moves.
My
Other Z
my,
moves, maybe? Like,
Ultra Z Fighter.
Like in a
or-
fighting game where
My
you get
thought
like your
that
second Ultra.
that's maybe just the thing that activates Solgaleo, Necrozma, and Lunalacrozma.
What if Necrozma goes on all the Ultra Beasts?
That would be wild. But
Yeah,
I would be
that'd
in.
be really weird.
That would be so cool because of the meta.
Yeah.
If because they usually like switch up the meta like every time in a gen. Like it's like the first year it's like very basic, and then the next year it's like yo crazy. Like you saw Oros like
Yeah.
just like all three of the big main.
Or as I like to call it, Landorus City.
Yeah. Oros? Was
Right?
Landorus City?
Yeah,
sort
right.
of. It was
no,
more
5.
like
Gen 5 was.
yeah, it was more like just get rocked by
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
Either
Oros
Groudon,
was like
Kyogre, or
was Battle of the
Xerneas.
Legends, and Gen 5 was Landorus City.
Yeah. Gen 6 was also like Landorus City for like 2 years.
Too much Landorus.
Yeah.
7.8
But,
out of 10.
Yeah, who knows? There's a black and white Z-Ring that looks different from the Z-Ring we're familiar with. We also saw this weird like Pikachu trailer park with a bunch of Pikachu chilling. Some new animations that appear to be Z moves for Togedemaru, Mimikyu, and Lycanroc midday form.
Oh yeah, Togedemaru was so angry.
He was real upset, man.
Yeah. And I just want to add something else that we were talking about in the morning that I don't know. It really looked to me like this. I don't know if you remember that in the game files for Sun and Moon, they found walking animations for all the Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene of the trainer like running through the first town.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that something similar to this happens in the game already. But there was like a Wingull that seemed to be kind of like following his movements as he was walking.
I disagree. I think that the Wingull was like flying ahead of him and maybe like being like, "Oh, this is the very beginning. Look at all the Pokemon that are in this." Because like at the beginning of the game, they kind of like overload you with overworld Pokemon to be like, "This is such a life," and then like as you go on, there's less.
It's certainly possible. But I just think there was all these walking animations in the game. They might as well use them. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, like believe me, I am all in for that.
What do we think this game is going to be? Do we think it's going to be like a sequel?
I think it's going to be a lot like Black and White 2. I think
Yeah.
it's a total alternate. If it's being pitched as an alternate story, I think that it's going to be. I think that's kind of where we're headed.
Should we go
Black
into
and White 2 kind of thing?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in general, in my opinion, I didn't know it was pitched as an alternate story, but what I was getting the vibe from it was like Lily leaves the trainer with Nebby as their full form, and obviously this version of the story has Solgaleo or Lunala being fused with Necrozma in some way.
You think it's maybe like a rescue thing?
Well, it might be a situation where like we'll see Alola trainer from Sun and Moon be like, the champion or the red on top of Mount whatever, and some sort of ambiguous like they parted ways with the legendary and something like that. It's like a post story.
Like
where,
they're like N or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be cool.
I'm that's like exactly what I'm expecting here. I think it's going to be cool. I think that they're going to show the things that have been being built around all the islands.
Yes.
yeah,
I think so too.
That makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense.
Probably going to be the gyms.
So it'll probably be taking place sometime after the events of Sun and Moon.
Yeah, that's what my gut feeling is. There's still like some unanswered threads, Colress. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of things that just like appeared very, very briefly and then kind of just were like,
Actually, that's interesting because Colress was the pivot for Black and White too.
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
He was the reason why pretty much everything went down.
It's
and
true.
Was the one who. You think we're gonna get a giant flying battleship that's gonna shoot like moonbeams at?
Moonbeams.
It very well could be that. There was also some like leaked, like fake maybe leaked
Who knows?
stuff about
This
Gladian.
is a rumor.
Yeah, Gladian like as a
Dressed in like Ether
like,
Foundation
yeah,
garb.
Ether Foundation
Took it
stuff. Like
over or
maybe he's
something.
like a good version of the Ether Foundation now. Like maybe there's like a good team in this game, which would be cool.
I want to see Team Skull come back in a big way.
I want Team Skull to like start to get back to the community and be like the YMCA or like homies. What is that? What is it called? Homies Inc. or whatever.
I don't know.
It's like ex gang members like running a business all together, and they make like chips and they run restaurants and stuff like that.
That's great. I would love to see. I would love to see that, honestly. Like Team Skull was my favorite part of Sun and Moon.
Yeah,
Maybe I should finish those games. But
they're good.
like all of their interactions were the most fun I had, and Ether Foundation obviously had their super creepiness, but like it would be cool if Plumeria is the leader now,
Yeah,
but she's like kind of like
she has like a conscience.
yeah, she's a little more like
Anti-hero.
a little more hardened by like what happened with Guzma and everything, and like it could be this sort of like
Heart of gold.
yeah, it would be nice because best girl, but
It seems like
you know.
it seems like that's what they're doing. It seems like they're really trying to like give that heart to everyone.
also let's see more of gosh, what's his name? Nanu.
Who? Oh yeah, Nanu, that guy,
Yes, the creepy police officer.
the like gray man.
Yeah, the gray man. Perfect. Love it. Nanu, the gray man, would like to fight.
Yeah, Nanu, the gray man. That's how I.
It's
That's how I see
really
him.
accurate though.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got it.
In many ways.
Yeah. So who knows? I think it's going to be something like that. I don't think we're going to see anything. I don't think we're going to see anything like going to Kanto or something like that. But that would be like insane.
No, it's 1 year after
Yeah,
Sun and Moon.
that's
We're
what
not
I
going to
mean.
see anything wild.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean. And finally, not to be outdone, Gold and Silver are now coming to Virtual Console on 3DS, also on September 22nd, same day as Pokken.
Woo!
And it's going to be compatible with Pokemon Bank. And like Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, it is a direct port of the game with all its fun little idiosyncrasies. Also, a trailer released on Pokemon YouTube's channel for Gold and Silver Virtual Console has some graphics that have the words Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon hidden in the unknown on the walls, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that was really neat.
Probably isn't much, but it's just like a cool Easter egg. And I mean, that's really it.
Gold and Silver are fantastic games. I can't wait for them to come to the 3DS so that anyone who's like younger, maybe didn't get a chance to play them, can play them. And like, there are no running shoes, so be prepared for that.
Oh
but,
gosh, it is a very
but
slow
it's
start.
such a good game. It's so good. And if you are really interested in like the lore and how the concept of a Pokemon story kind of evolved, the first game is great, but the second game is where they were like, okay, well, this is what we want the kind of Pokemon stories to be like. And
Gold and
so
Silver basically just outlined the game. Like
Yeah.
that's what all of them are, except up to maybe Sun and Moon. That's like every single one.
it's like a hugely important piece in Pokemon's history. So if you haven't played them, like get it when it comes out because
Yeah.
they're fantastic.
Yeah,
And it's the best set of Pokemon, in my opinion.
honestly, I agree. I know we
Steelix, Donphan, Scizor, Furret, Ampharos.
Like
Lantern.
Loki,
Nidoran, Mankey.
like Loki. I also love Gen 4, but like man,
Gen 2's just, it's got a special place in my heart. I think it's probably the games that I played the most. Maybe I did play a lot of Gen 3, but like original games were good. Gold and Silver felt so much more fleshed out world-wise, not just because Kanto is also included as like a post game, but just like Johto in general
Such a beautiful region.
felt more real than
it has like
Kanto.
a vibe to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's such a good game.
It's like-
very, very well designed.
The difference between the two big cities, well, I guess there's a few big cities in Kanto, but like the difference between like these primary big cities of
Goldenrod and-
or Saffron.
Yeah.
Because I know people would probably say that it's not Saffron. What's the other one?
Celadon.
Celadon is like the parallel, but Saffron City has like all these buildings and towers and stuff in it.
Right. That's the one with Sylph.
Yeah, but it like none of them are open. There's
Right.
like 3 things you can do in Saffron City, and it feels like, it feels like a barred off game world. But
Yeah.
like so
Goldenrod's
much
just
happens in
big.
Goldenrod.
Yeah, it's true. Gold and Silver is. I can't believe that was a Game Boy game. What an amazing video game.
Yeah, shout outs to Satoru Iwata for making that possible.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
a cool guy.
Almost like single-handedly at the end there.
Also,
Yeah.
conspiracy theories.
Ooh, theories.
Conspiracy theories.
Before we get into conspiracy theories,
Yep.
one final note for
Yep.
people who have not played Gold and Silver before.
Sure.
Have your mind blown when you go to Goldenrod City, listen to the theme for a while, and then you get the bike, and you just ride the bike for the rest of the game, and you don't realize until much later in your life that the bike theme is the Goldenrod City theme, but remade and quickened.
I feel like this might be like an autobiographical story.
It's very
are you talking
mind blowing.
about?
Just be careful. Just be careful
are
when
you
you go to
talking
listen to
about?
them. Don't get too scared. But it's very mind blowing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of like Twin Peaks. It's pretty trippy.
Right.
Conspiracy theory. Tsunekazu Ishihara was kind of like in front of this like bookshelf situation with like a bunch of plushies and merch on it, and
Right.
like the games were like behind him.
Shelf Pokemon for Gen 7 Part 2 confirmed.
Notable absence
on all the games. It was like every Pokemon game on the shelf except for Gen 4.
There was like at least one like of all the colors, because people were like, when I was like, hey, there's no Gen 4, people were like, Heart Gold and Soul Silver were on the shelf. That's not what I mean. First of all, haters, come on, you know what I mean. I mean, red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, ruby, sapphire. It was like every generation of games was represented. Black and white was on there. X and Y were on there, and
Every primary game in the
primary
generations.
game. But platinum and diamond and pearl were not on that shelf, and that was a very interesting absence. What does it mean?
I mean, there's no way it wasn't intentional.
Right.
Right.
And to me, I take that as them acknowledging the demand, at least. But I don't know.
Do you remember Hoenn Soon?
Hoenn Soon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was making a joke with Alex when everyone was like speculating about Hoenn remakes, Oros remakes, and we were like, but nobody knew about it yet. And then Alex had like texted me after work like, hey, you on your way? And I wrote Hoenn Soon instead of Home Soon as like a little joke because it was like, funny. And then like the next morning it came out, or it was announced, and I was like,
literally the next day, yeah.
I was like, I'm a precog.
I'm a
Minority
precog.
Report.
Well, I say this every time we bring up remakes. The remakes of the Pokemon games do have a very clearly defined
Schedule.
Like it's
One per gen.
one per gen.
We've done 1, 2, 3 already.
They are 5 years apart. All of them. All of them are 5 years apart.
Precisely.
Not to the day.
But
But like to the year, yeah.
So Fire Red and Leaf Green were January, or almost February 2004. Heart Gold, Soul Silver were September 2009, and then Oros were November 2014. We're not getting Diamond and Pearl remakes until 2019.
probably.
I am saying that as a fact right now.
Well, the only reason that it could get weird is because of the console cycle.
Right. The Switch would be the one major thing to break that cycle, but I'm just saying, if it doesn't come out until 2019, your pal rival Jimmy told you because math.
But speaking of the Switch,
But if it does, I mean, great.
speaking of the Switch,
Yep.
we're out of the news. Let's
are.
jump into the discussment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So
So, speaking of the Switch,
Stop being mad.
stop being mad. Yes. But also, shortly after Direct, on Pokemon's press release website, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was listed as TBA on the Nintendo Switch, which was written underneath it was like the 3DS release date was this date, and the other release date was TBA. It was like Switch TBA.
Yeah.
The text was removed and like completely the entire press release was reformatted to not have any room for it. And a representative for Nintendo quickly said afterwards that it was a clerical error and that Pokemon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were 3DS exclusives, okay?
Okay.
All of this info should be taken with a grain of salt, but we need to know, will it come to the Switch? And the reason that I feel this way is a couple reasons. Number one, a lot of people said this was just a piece of animation from a cutscene that was pre-rendered in the Ultra Sun and Moon trailer. But the scene where the trainer activates the Z bracelet, the black and white Z bracelet, it looks exactly like the HD sort of like up-reses of Sun and Moon that we've seen on emulator. It has that HD quality to it, and even a little bit of like pixelation on the edges of the characters that makes it look like it's being like that it's gameplay rather than a pre-rendered cutscene. And it's so little of the trailer that for them to
It's very difficult to
have
say
that
for sure.
one piece of it be a cutscene and everything else not be is like very strange to me. But I also want to point everyone's attention to a post to a forum from April 29th. Okay?
of this year.
Yes.
Okay.
And I want to read you this piece for the most part. Recently stumbled upon information regarding the next Pokemon games. Since this source was contacted by Eurogamer prior to their publication of the Pokemon Sun scoop 6 months ago, I have faith in the validity of this information. This person also contacted my site about another Nintendo release, which ended up being legit. An announcement is coming before May 21st. No word if it's a straight-up game reveal or an announcement of the upcoming game reveal. Nintendo has planned 3 new Pokemon games for 3DS and Switch. 2 of them are dual versions. My source did not know for sure which systems were getting which games, so I don't know if 3DS is getting 2 games and Switch 1 game, or the other way around. My source did not provide clear info about the names either, but the tags used in material for the game were Pokemon, Sun, Moon, Eclipse, Ultra. So the games could be Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and Eclipse, or Eclipse Sun, Eclipse Moon, and Ultra Eclipse. No other combinations made sense, in my opinion. Regarding game features, my source told me that the Switch's games and the 3DS games would be compatible with each other, but would not feature direct multiplayer gameplay. I was told to expect largely the same content in all 3 versions, except some missing features in the 3DS games. 2 of the Switch exclusive features that were named by my source were Shooting Arena minigame and visible secondary characters in Overworld. Release dates for the games are November 3rd and November 22nd. Since my source mentioned the games would be released simultaneously, this leads me to believe that these 2 different release dates are for different regions. No other details were shared except for the Switch versions not being full HD and Nintendo demoing a special online campaign for this game.
Okay, so first let's parse this out. So there are a number of factual inaccuracies there. First of all, it's
Some
November
dates.
17th that Ultra Sun and Moon are coming
Sure.
out, which is not 2 different versions,
But
2
it's-
different things.
It's the same week.
Right. But and then the other thing that we need to acknowledge at the beginning there is that it said that announcement was coming before May 21st. Who knows why that's not the case?
I mean,
but it
there's a
doesn't
lot
really
of
matter
reasons-
too much. But I know
yeah.
that people are going to be like, well,
Right.
these are inaccuracies.
The fact that Ultra is in there, that's a pull that's like pretty like random.
I don't know if it's too random because like Ultra Beasts, Ultra Space, that's been a buzzword.
But you wouldn't like that's a pretty bold guess to end up being true. That's all I'm
True.
saying.
That is true.
I agree
with
with that because, yeah,
That's a bold guess.
So
It's
I
very
wonder.
hard, yeah.
So that's very interesting. Then I wonder if that would actually make everything true.
That's
that was
what I
said.
mean. The
because
reason
like
it's-
if
Yeah.
Ultra Sun and Moon are 3DS
Nintendo's
exclusives,
just being smug.
and
Yeah.
there's maybe even like a 3rd sequel game that's just called something different and might be a little bit different, then that would make the statement that Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are 3DS exclusives
True.
while also leaving room for a Switch title for Sun and Moon.
Exactly. And the thing that really blows me away about that is as long as that's a real post, it allows for everything because it was from April. So I don't know. I don't know if that post is real.
Yeah.
That's one part of this that I don't know. But this is going to be live on Friday. The Nintendo thing happens on Tuesday.
What game was announced? What game was announced to be on 3DS and Switch recently? It was not a Pokemon game.
Monster Hunter?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Monster Hunter. It was announced that Monster Hunter
It has
3DS
crossplay. It
and
has crossplay.
yeah, and Switch has crossplay. So if that were the case, that's another shred of evidence here that could connect Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon to possibly still.
That's the
Having
thing that
a-
I was talking about the other day. It's like they can talk to each other because I was trying to like sort of mitigate the criticism of it being like, why would they ditch the 3DS this early into a generation? I feel like maybe they won't.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with the 3DS is that as long as they keep it relevant, that system has such a consumer base in it. They can what did the 3DS sell like? Is it 90 million or something total?
It's I think
big,
it's 64 million.
64. Okay. Yeah,
I
because
think.
I knew it couldn't have been over 100 because that's nearing the Wii sales. And
The
I don't
install
think it
base
outsold.
is crazy, is the point.
Right.
Yeah.
The amount of people who own that console is like 20 times more than the Wii U.
Right.
So them dropping the Wii U makes sense because they don't have people to sell to. Them dropping the 3DS is dropping a huge cash cow. And if they can still make games for it, some people can't afford or don't want to Switch. Like, it's like the PS2. They kept releasing PS2 games well into the PS3's life cycle. Like,
I think we're going to start to see a slowdown on things released for the
Absolutely.
3DS, but like there's still going to be some life left for the system.
right.
I don't think it's dead. I just think like we're gonna be getting stuff on the Switch. Like they can't not put Pokemon on the Switch. It's another Nintendo portable. It's just like what needs to happen. But I don't know. Is it coming to the Switch? Final answer. I think yes.
I still think yes. And it, whether that be Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, or something else, I do think that there's still some secrets to be found.
I would be very surprised if it wasn't Pokemon
If this was
Eclipse.
all just nothing, then I don't. It's quite a clerical error to be absolutely nothing. So there's got to be something to why that was posted on that website.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like,
When did that fight stick announcement happen?
It was shortly after the direct came out.
No.
What?
The fight stick?
Fight stick? What do you mean
not
for
the Hori
Pokken?
pad.
The one that leaked the one that leaked
Oh, I'm sorry. That was like a week and a half ago.
was it around the 21st of May?
I don't know.
Because what it could be is that a retailer didn't get the pushed back date of the press conference.
Oh yeah, maybe.
And
Yeah, I don't know what exact date that was.
yeah. So I don't know.
I could see.
Yeah, I think also in general, it's like, it's important to note, like, people who are expecting the Switch game, I mean, there's, like we said, there's still a possibility based on that post that we don't know if it's verified. It's completely,
Remember that it's still in your imagination.
it's still an anonymous source. But, like, the thing is, expecting a new Pokemon game, first of all.
Gen 8.
Gen 8. This
Yeah.
soon, it has not even been a year.
No
after
way.
Sun and Moon.
There's not going to be a primarily for the Switch developed Pokemon game for
Right.
several years.
Right. So yeah. First of all, don't expect that. Second of all, just like, you have to understand that the 3DS, like I said, 3DS install base is so big, they wouldn't not make this Pokemon game on the 3DS.
Yeah.
I guess
It'd be so much of a roast.
a little takeaway from this, as always, a PSA, if you will, is we love speculating. We love it as much as you do, but just make sure that you remember to separate your speculation from the actual outcome and not let your speculation affect your opinion on the outcome.
Yeah.
Because you never had control of it. And just because your idea is good doesn't mean it should have been what is out there.
Exactly.
Not only that, but
Just because you say it's confirmed doesn't mean it is.
I think it was either Masuda or Ishihara, when they were asked about Z version, like, very clearly stated that they like to mix things up and do the unexpected with every generation. They like to change around, like, how they release the second wave of a generation. So
They're always mixing it up.
I don't think literally any of us expected like a Sun and Moon 2 for all intents and purposes.
Right.
Most people were very fixated on Stars, which, we all made that up. That was never a thing.
Yeah, Stars was never real.
Yeah.
It was surprising to me how many people were so sure that it was Stars. And we entertained the idea. We even called the hypothetical sequel Stars, but at no point should you let that mass hope be the catalyst for your disappointment at what you actually get.
Yeah.
Think about how many books come out. Right? The thing that's great about books is that they're not instantly consumable. I mean, they're pretty quickly consumable, but you can't see a screenshot of a book and learn anything from it.
Yeah.
Except for some very specific passages, but there's not nearly this amount of hype even around the biggest books. Even around the biggest books that come out, nothing approaches games. Even movies, really. There's really not anything similar to the hype machine for movies that there is to games even.
Yeah.
And so you just got to keep your wits about you. As somebody who's been in this machine getting chewed up by it for almost 10 years now, you just got to roll with those punches, You got to ready,
Gotta go arms on it, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it just makes me feel so strange when people, based on the small amount, the couple screenshots that we were given, people are so ready to criticize, but you don't know anything about it yet.
Right.
Except for that it exists, and it's not the thing that you thought that it might be.
that you imagined.
Yeah.
You literally made it up.
Yeah, so it's just right now, if you are mad or somehow you feel wronged by the announcement of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I just want you to just take a second, like breathe in and out, and just like you don't need to carry that on you right now because you don't know anything about it. We're gonna learn more, and then you can be mad, but like it's too early for that. So just calm it down.
I also take issue with the amount of judgment that Nintendo is getting for the amount of re-releasing they're doing.
Yeah, like I agree with this. I've always been in the camp of like, who cares? Like,
it's just a product. It's like another product that they're putting out.
But
it's
also
not like it's not like they're using it to like not put out another Mario Kart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think people mistake that a lot. Is that they think that
like
this
Twilight
whole
Princess,
development team.
Like, why are they working on this while they're not working on a new game?
Like Twilight Princess HD, like because we already knew about the other Zelda, people weren't like, man, I can't believe they're just putting out Twilight Princess HD instead of putting out a Zelda.
Right, because Breath of the Wild was in production for like 6 years, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think people often make that mistake where they don't realize, first of all, how big of a company Nintendo is, how many teams they have. Like,
so many.
Like, people are working on Mario Odyssey. There are also people working on the ports for the Virtual Console games on the Switch that are Mario.
I realize
they're mutually exclusive
The
of
problem
each
is
other.
expedited with Nintendo though, because their success is so tied to their first party IPs.
Yeah.
That, you know, I mean, they just can't make that many full games a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They do have a lot of teams, but I mean, you can't manufacture speed
They
for
put
a
out like
project.
4 like masterpiece quality games every single year. Like, even if you don't like them, you like nobody's ever like the game is bad. Almost never with Nintendo. You know what I mean?
Except for like Other M.
Sure, but I'm just saying that's not even a Nintendo developed game.
Yeah, Team Ninja.
Yeah, I'm saying like Nintendo themselves puts out like a couple like timeless entries into their like most popular franchises every year, and
Except for
even rolls out new IPs. They're doing all this stuff, and then to mitigate the fact that they don't have that big third party support, right?
Yeah.
Not yet. I mean, I think people are coming around on the Switch, and the partners that they announced at the launch of the Switch were very encouraging. And I'm still not like living in a reality that I can have Skyrim on my Switch yet. I don't like realize that I can just like jump into Skyrim wherever I am yet, or like whatever the hell From Software is putting out on here. Which
I hope it's called Switchblade and it's just another Souls type game.
I hope it's just all 3 Dark Souls. I think that's like not out of the question. Or at least the first 2, or maybe just the third one. I don't care what it is. I would just love a portable Dark Souls game. That would be so insane. But like that stuff isn't here yet, and it didn't even exist on the Wii U. You know what I mean? You got to realize Nintendo was like providing you with the illusion of a successful console on the Wii U for people who owned it, you know, because they care about you and they're like a good company that worries about putting out a good product at all times.
Yeah.
So instead of like being able to, you know, when it launched with like Assassin's Creed, Darksiders, all these like weird games, Ninja Gaiden 3, Lego City, whatever. But as those things fall off, right, they need to put out games for you to play, and they can't just like make them appear out of thin air. They can't like convince people to develop games for the failing Wii U.
Yeah, like there are a lot of indie games that are coming out on the Switch right now. There are a lot of third parties that are teasing that there are Switch games in development, like you said, From Software being one of them.
But they're all waiting. They're all waiting to see whether or not the Switch is actually a success or not.
And the thing is I can more understand with people frustration by very quick re-releases such as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or even Pokken DX.
But even that, I feel like...
Well, for Pokken, it's different. For Mario Kart, I kind of get it. Stuff like that, I get. Like Skyrim HD, like, or the, you know, not specifically on Switch, but just like the fact that Skyrim HD exists. Most people are like, who cares? Where's Oblivion? But, or who cares? Where's Morrowind? But
where is Morrowind?
Where's Morrowind?
Hashtag
it's stuck in 2004.
You know what though? They just released the online version of Morrowind.
It's not the same.
It's probably pretty cool though.
Anyway, but I think in general, I've said this a lot, and be knowing this. I am an adult person.
Hashtag be knowing this.
I am an adult person I realize that Nintendo is a company that wants me to give it money.
Yeah.
So that it can, like, I get that.
Yeah.
I'm not oblivious to the fact that when they release Gold and Silver on the Virtual Console, it's to play to my nostalgia, so I'll give them another $10.
But I also, on the same time, I want to play Gold and Silver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And beyond that, I want the newer generations of kids who were literally born a decade after that game came out to be able to experience it if they want to. And it's not really that easy to get a dumb brick Game Boy with the stupid squiggly light and pop in Gold and Silver and
If
play
you
them
want.
these days.
If
It's
you
not
want.
nearly as easy as it is to just spend $10 and download a Virtual Console.
Yeah,
It's cheaper too.
Exactly. It's actually a worthwhile thing. I mean, even for the Wii U games, here's a scenario that like I'm totally not mad about, right?
Yeah.
Mario Kart 8 is a super good game, right?
Okay.
How many Wii U's were sold?
A little over 10 million?
10 million total, right?
Yeah.
Already almost half that many Switches exist. You know what I mean?
Their projections are at least 13 million sold by next April, I believe.
Which is crazy.
Was their projection.
Which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's a console cycle that was cut short on Nintendo's end
4
in
years
a big
instead
way.
of 6.
What's that?
4 years instead of 6.
Yeah. And I think that for them, right, it was probably easy to get the first third party. It was probably easy for them to get the third party support coming out of the Wii, the best selling console ever.
Yep.
And then when they
112
lost
million,
all
I
that,
think.
and when they lost all that third party support with the Switch, right? This time, all the companies are like, well, one or two of us are going to go in with you on a game that we already made,
Yep.
AKA Skyrim,
Yeah.
AKA, I think that's really it right now, Lego City,
Mm-hmm.
right? But then Nintendo's like, well, crap, that's not enough to like sell a system at launch. So we put one incredible first party game on the system right away,
Yes.
right out of the box.
Yes.
We get like 2 companies to make brand new games that are tight.
Mm-hmm.
We make our Wii Sports to sell the like novelty of the system, right?
Along with immediately announced follow-ups to follow-up to basically the defining Wii U original Splatoon.
Yeah, exactly. Something to be like, if you are a Wii U fan, keep coming to the Switch.
Yes.
But then for that first year, when they're not able to like make every video game that they want to put on the system and there's no third-party games, it makes sense to me that for people who bought the Switch, many of whom did not own a Wii U, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Putting out Mario Kart, and then you get ARMS, another new IP.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like the level of like quality and support you're getting for the Switch right now from Nintendo is like beyond what it like is even almost smart for them. You know what I mean? Normally. Except that every single one of their games is like pure gold, so like whatever. But to criticize them for putting out Mario Kart 8 instead of Mario Kart 9 a month after the damn console came out, you're living in a fantasy world. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what's happening here. They're not trying to take advantage of you. They're trying to reward you for purchasing their system. You think after this year that there's going to be like any remakes that are like not just like under the radar budget virtual console games? No way. What are they even going to put on there?
Yeah,
Sticker
I don't
star,
know.
like paper jam, like whatever it's called. Like, what are they going to put on there? Pikmin 3? No. Like, none of that stuff's coming to the Switch.
F-Zero GX.
F-Zero
Switch.
GX could come, but it's definitely not going to be a remake. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Like, Virtual Console is a whole other situation.
no, yeah, I know.
But I'm just
Yeah,
saying, like, it's not them being scummy. It's them being, like, tight. And people just don't see it.
Yeah, I think in general with like remakes and virtual console stuff, it's like if I was a musician with like 100 albums
Yeah.
and like I moved to a new platform to sell music, I'd put all 100 of my albums on that new platform as well.
Yeah, exactly.
If people want to listen to my dumb album from the year 1 BC, like yes, you could still get that. And
Yeah.
Nintendo just does that. And maybe they don't have the best system of transferring that forward or keeping it across your accounts. I agree with you. That's definitely yes, but like if Metroid
that's
Fusion,
the one the online stuff with them is the one thing where I'm willing to like really go in on Nintendo is like, why aren't you paying attention to this? Why are you doing this so simply?
Yeah, they're behind for sure.
I even see their logic. I just think it's like
Flawed.
bad business practice in America, at least. I don't know about Japan. I don't know what the deal is over there. It seems like a totally different market.
Yeah.
But that, like, if they don't have a solution for owning stuff on the virtual console, and actually, I'm not even unhappy with paying a little bit for it, like I have been. As long as they unify the portable and the Wii U virtual console together, and even the Wii console would be great. But like, as long as that all comes together, I'll be a happy boy. But like, I don't know. I feel like people need to chill out on it. I feel like Sun and Moon could come to the Switch anytime.
Overall, I think that this Direct was awesome. It was so unexpected because we knew about it less than 24 hours beforehand. It was super, super, super hype. So I'm really super excited for it. It was weird signing on to the internet yesterday and seeing like an article when I looked up the Pokemon Direct of like why the Direct was such a disappointment. And I was like, who's disappointed? Who's disappointed?
That's what I mean.
It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm super happy though. I can't wait for all of these new things.
Reasons are like, they really, the reasons that it was a disappointment were things like, we really believed a rumor that turned out not to be true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can't like play designer if you're not the actual designer and then be disappointed when your idea was not implemented.
Yeah, you have no idea how the actual industry works for the most part. And even a lot of the people who are in the industry who are criticizing them have no knowledge of what's going on inside the company. So we got to remember, like, just take a step back and look at Pokemon as a whole and think about whether or not they're trying to trick you or trying to make something cool for you.
Also, Pokemon fans, here, let me just take you aside for a second. Let me just sit on right down there.
Okay.
Just take a knee.
Knee time with Jimmy.
It has been, when did Sun and Moon come out? November?
Yep.
It has been 8 months? 9 months?
Yeah. At most.
Since Sun and Moon came out. It has been 3,572 days since the last classical Metroid game.
You know what? If any year it's going to happen, I feel like this is going to be another year. It's going to be like part 2 of last year at E3. How last year they were like, Final Fantasy VII, it's time. Yep. Like,
it's time in the next 4-ish or so years.
Kojima has a game
sometime
coming
it'll
out.
happen.
Like, just like crazy news that didn't seem real. Kingdom Hearts 3, let's go. Like, just like crazy stuff like that. There was a couple other ones that were just like, what? And
not only that, a good majority of the main series Pokemon games are pretty dang quality.
All of them. Every one.
Like, I'm just gonna be a salty Metroid fan. We have Other M and Federation Force in the last 10 years.
Federation Force is pretty tight though.
Federation Force is not a Metroid game.
It's
just
tight, though.
has the title of Metroid on it.
It's like Kirby though. It's like, I don't like, if the game is good, like, I don't mind if it's not the main. I'm happy that we got a Metroid game. That's not really how I feel about it, but at least the game was good.
But like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I totally do.
Like,
but I feel like this is the year.
Pokemon fans, we are spoiled as Pokemon fans.
Yeah, every damn game is good, and they come out on a schedule.
We get it every year, and we get tons of spin-offs, and we don't get Pokemon Snap 2 for some reason, but we get almost all the other things that we want. So, chill. We're like, if you wait 12 months, you'll probably get the thing you wanted.
I'm going to put a limit on this because I think we're just going to run out of time for emails, and we'll just push emails to next week after the E3. I doubt there's going to be a lot of Pokemon news at E3.
But I think it'll be a good time to wrap up because I'm sure a lot of people have been emailing about this already, but I want to maybe see what you think.
That's what I mean. I want to just talk about all the stuff. We'll probably
Yeah.
get a few more details. So next week we'll do a super big email thing, but I just want to ask you guys real quick to close out the show.
What is your ideal Mega Evolution? Kidding.
I just want from each of you 2 E3 predictions. One that's reasonable, one that's like the heavens have parted and something crazy is going to happen.
Jimmy, go first.
Okay, well, you know my heavens parting one.
Is it Metroid?
It's Metroid 5.
Got it.
Takes place after Fusion.
And it's a Metroidvania game.
It is a 2D on the Switch with an interesting art style.
And a new feel. Some kind of new...
It's something new about it,
fresh.
But it carries on Samus's story after the fusion suit, and we get to see what becomes of that. And it also canonically kicks Other M off the timeline. And brings Prime back into it where it rightfully effing belongs.
That's
now I just want to remind you about expectations.
he said heaven opening one. That was my
Okay,
like
that's
my
true.
groundbreaking like there's no way in hell they're going to make another Metroid game, especially a 2D Metroid game. I don't think that's actually realistic. But would I love it? Absolutely.
I could see them doing a $40 2D Metroid.
We'll see. I mean, I would love it. I would absolutely love it, but I'm not gonna put
The Switch like changes things about like what type of game a new Nintendo IP will be.
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
That's something that people haven't realized either. Like it can be like a portable game, quality game that's like that you can play on your TV. Again, like retro game comes closer to being modern again for a little bit.
Yeah, I think a realistic announcement for E3, aside from Smash 4 on Switch,
which everybody's like, it's coming.
Yeah, it's. I'm pretty convinced that that's going to be a thing, but it's really hard to say what base they haven't already covered. Like, I don't expect there to be an F-Zero. I don't really expect there to be a Star Fox.
No, too soon.
No Pikmin or anything like that. It seems like they've covered their Mario, they've covered their Zelda. There is a potential for, Pokemon. Maybe this Direct was like the appetizer, and then all of you mad kids are going to eat your words in a week when they're like, and Eclipse on Switch. But like, Eclipse on Switch. But, I don't know. Maybe a realistic expectation will get like a kind of low-key, like middling Kirby or Yoshi game.
Are we talking? Are you just thinking inside of Nintendo right now?
That's what are we talking E3 predictions?
I'm talking E3. Across
Just
the board.
total E3 predictions?
Yeah.
Oh.
Stuff that has not been known.
Stuff that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Kellz, you want to give your groundbreaking one while I think of my realistic one now?
All right. My groundbreaking one is.
Did you have something?
No, I didn't have anything. but my real actual prediction is I do think we're gonna be seeing a little bit of Pokemon. Oh, sorry, just kidding, not Pokemon. Freudian slip. I think we are going to be seeing some Odyssey. I think we'll be getting more information about Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
As that kind of creeps closer.
I'm so freaking ready.
I think that we're going to be learning about that Mario and Rabbids game a little bit more. We'll probably get some information on that.
That game does not technically exist yet.
Yeah, it's still leaked. Right? But it's like...
My favorite tweet about that, since they all have
leak.
gun arms, was, hey, Nintendo, can you give us a new Metroid game? Nintendo, sure. And then it's just that.
Mario and Rabbids. And I guess the sky's the limit prediction. What's a game that's coming
Right? What's a game?
out?
Dude, what is a game?
I don't know, man. I don't really have like a groundbreaking prediction thing. I'm really excited for Alex to go preview Destiny 2 without me.
Baby.
Actually, it's okay. Like I'm really excited for that game, but like
It's coming out in like a couple
But
months.
we are going to find out some more info on that, so I'm excited.
It comes out in like 3 months. We're good.
I don't know. I don't think I have like a world-shattering prediction that is like going to be the thing that like blows all of our minds. Maybe. Yeah, all I really
your
want.
Dream. What's your dream?
Well, okay, my dream would be that they're like Kingdom Hearts 3. Here's the release date. Maybe a release date for Kingdom Hearts 3.
That would be.
I love that is the earth-shattering.
That is earth-shattering. That would never happen.
It's true. It seems like it could never happen.
It seems like it's a fake game.
But Square Enix definitely was like, here's some footage of Final Fantasy VII last year, so we'll see.
Yeah, and then this year they were like aiming for Final Fantasy VII probably before 2020.
Yeah, we're hopefully going to get it out eventually.
Maybe. It's like me in videos.
For me, real quick.
Yep.
Reasonable. I think we're going to see Elder Scrolls.
Like a new Elder Scrolls?
I think it's, Skyrim
think
came
it's
out
about
in
that time?
2011.
Yeah, I was actually leaning towards Bethesda as my one that I'm looking at. I think I agree. Maybe of the 3 possibilities, Elder Scrolls 7, Morrowind Remastered, or New Doom 2.
I think Elder Scrolls and Evil Within 2 are 2
Evil
things.
Within 2.
are two things that I would expect from the Bethesda console.
Left field.
Yeah.
Evil Within. I mean, they don't own that many franchises.
Right.
Um,
I feel like the follow-up to Doom would be more realistic. IMO.
but Doom just came out.
Yeah, I know, but they can tease the next one and release it in 2080.
I feel you. There's also the Wolfenstein game, which I believe is announced or is like heavily leaked, rumored.
Oh, there's another Wolfenstein game?
Dude, that game was great.
Yeah, no, I hear that it is pretty great. So
I bought that one just on a lark because I was sitting at Target, like looking at the games like you do. And this was like pretty soon after it came out, maybe like within a year. And on PS4, it was still like $50, but on Xbox One, it was like $8. So I was like, I'll buy this. And I just like played through the whole thing in one sitting. It was really great. Elder Scrolls is my reasonable prediction. I think it's pretty reasonable to assume that we're going to see a new Elder Scrolls, even if it's not out for a year or two.
it would be ripe to do that, especially since they just dropped Morrowind on Elder Scrolls Online.
Morrowind on Elder Scrolls Online and also Skyrim to the Switch.
Right. Now that there's a bit of buzz around Elder Scrolls again for, a week or two at least.
And Prey is already out.
That's right. I forgot Prey existed.
Yeah, Prey's
I
out.
hear good things about it.
It's pretty cool looking. So I think Elder Scrolls, and then my earth-shattering one is Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Good luck, man.
I also think that it's reasonable to assume that we're going to see Mother 3 if there's any talk of virtual console.
Interesting.
There's no way that they are going to release Mother 1 and not Mother 3 eventually.
I hope Cuphead's at E3.
Yeah, that's coming out real soon. It's
I hope
gotta be.
Cuphead comes out. It's
Yeah,
been
that's
E3
true.
twice in a row.
Yeah, I know.
It was like game of the show
I
twice in a row
mostly just
too.
want them to come out with it.
So pretty.
It is. I have to say, playing it at both the last E3s that I've been to, the improvement from 2 years ago to a year ago was massive because they added
Huge.
levels with like run and gun Mega Man Contra style stuff instead of it just being boss rush. And I was like, wow, this feels like a really good hard game that I would love to play as opposed to
It looks
like,
cool. It looks so cool.
Yeah.
Looks beautiful too. I mean, that game's gonna be
well,
awesome.
maybe announcement for Cuphead on Switch then.
Oh,
Cuphead on
that'll
Switch would be
hype.
cool.
That'd be hype.
that'd be clean.
That's like a perfect one too. Have you seen Wonder Boy?
Yeah, I have.
Man, that looks great on the Switch.
Did you know if you switch to the girl character, it changes the title screen?
I did not know that.
How cute.
Yeah, changes it to Wonder Girl, and yeah,
Sweet.
pretty neat.
That's like so welcome right now.
Yeah,
That's so
seriously.
tight. Yeah, I think Mother 3 is going to come out. I've thought that ever since they announced Mother 1 for the Wii U because they were like, here's what happened, right? You want to
Yeah.
know the meeting that happened?
Okay,
This is an imaginary version of a meeting that I
Okay.
bet happened.
hang on.
Yeah.
All right, now we're flashbacks.
Hey
Go.
guys, it's me, Reggie.
Hi,
Welcome to this
Reggie.
meeting. Hi.
Hi.
We're gonna put out Mother 3 on the Wii U Virtual Console.
Oh my God, Reggie, that's such a big decision.
yeah, I know.
no.
And then somebody's like, "Hey,
Hi.
I'm
A
this
gamer.
other guy at Nintendo. We're about to put out the Switch next year. We all know about it. Oh yeah, we're all Nintendo employees. We know
Oh
about it.
yeah.
Why don't we put out Earthbound 1 on the Wii U just in case we never put that out again? And let's wait on Mother 3 to put on the Switch because we want to sell that system and it's going to be a huge news story when we announce it.
I agree with him.
Good. All right,
I'm
it's
Reggie.
decided. Reggie Fils make it happen. All right. Yeah, man.
That's how they conclude meetings.
Little high quality improv for you guys right there.
Yeah,
Um,
that was my first improv sesh ever.
yeah. How's that?
It was all right.
Came alive before your very eyes?
Yeah,
Did you do your other prediction?
my
Your
my
realistic?
realistic one. I kind of just sided with you on Bethesda, but like I'm not gonna say something like Assassin's Creed because it's like it's not even
It's
a
like
prediction
been
at this
leaked.
point.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, even if it wasn't leaked, it'd be like
It's time.
It would be a groundbreaking prediction for there not to be one.
I would be excited. I'm more excited this year for Assassin's Creed than I have been in some time because the fact that they took a break to like make a good game.
I forgot they took a break.
Yeah, the fact that they took a break to make a good game is exciting to me.
I don't know, man. Realistic expectations.
Last
Maybe
of Us 2.
I'm a child of the hype machine, and only my expectations are the hypest stuff that will never happen.
Some kind of crazy Japanese game that will never actually come out.
F-Zero SX,
They cannot call it SX.
Ooh.
F-Zero XS,
F-Zero sex.
F-Zero. I don't know. Snap sound effect X.
F-Zero snaps. Okay.
No, I don't think F-Zero is going to come out. I think
they'll
Bethesda
port it.
it will be probably an Elder Scrolls. I agree with that.
I'm like feeling that super hard. I don't know why. I'm just
It's so
feeling
strange. I just like I've been so into Nintendo games at the moment that I like forgot about all the other companies and like the kind of stuff they bring to the
Did
table.
you hear
Yeah.
that Death Stranding is not going to be at E3?
Yeah, I saw that Hideo Kojima
They
tweeted.
put out a image that's like really mysterious, and they're like, we're not going to be at E3
Yeah.
unless that game, unless whatever that is, Bridges
Yeah.
is like a game that's on the floor at E3, which like could totally be what happens with the amount of.
What was Bridges?
If you look at the
It's
image,
the
it's like
screenshot he
a spider web that says Bridges underneath, and then it says Death Stranding.
But it's like
Weird.
a 5-pointed star that's the spider web.
It's pretty strange.
Hmm.
I don't
It's
know
really
if,
weird.
I don't know if you know this also, Kelly,
Yeah.
but the engine for Death Stranding has been confirmed to be the engine that was used to create Horizon Zero Dawn.
Nice. Unreal? Not Unreal.
No, it's their own engine that they made to run Killzone and Horizon.
Oh, very
And
interesting. It's
It's
a good engine.
it's a
I loved
pretty
Horizon
good
Zero Dawn.
engine.
It was so smooth.
it's a beautiful engine that can do some stuff that it's very similar to the Fox engine in terms of like that it's kind of like crazy cool like light processing to create cool graphics. But yeah, I think
know
we're
what?
done here.
I have a realistic
Oh,
one
good.
that's
Okay,
not
yeah.
Elder Scrolls. I think it's rounding about time that we hit Halo 6.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. It's hitting that time. Halo 5 was what, 2 years ago?
Two or three? I don't really remember.
Definitely
I had-
three. Definitely 3 E3s ago at least.
Yeah, I don't have an Xbox One, so I haven't played 5. I didn't even beat 4 because I was a dummy and tried to play it on Legendary.
I have all of them. I did the same thing, and I have them all on Xbox One, and I just like am a trash lord. I love Halo.
Halo's really great. I don't really like 343's direction with the second trilogy as much as I like the original Halo trilogy.
It's true,
but
and you know that I think that's why I went so hard into Destiny was because it just feels like Halo.
right, yeah, that makes sense. I'll play Destiny 2, Destiny with you guys.
Destiny.
Destiny.
All right, I think we're good.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Yeah,
You're all wonderful.
I'm Alex.
I'm Jimmy.
I'm Pokekills.
I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Have a good E3.
Bye.
Later, man.